Hey guys, my name is Crystal Olisa. Thank you so much for dropping by. Be sure to subscribe for more great content. I have been dilly-dallying on starting this video for the longest time, so I am excited to finally be able to just sit myself down, get this all done. So I'm showing this to you as the before, because I'm going to be clearing away all of this stuff, all of this very dusty stuff. Literally, I haven't touched it since the wall came down, just because I knew once I remove everything, I need to be like in the right headspace to paint and like get it all perfect. So I finally feel like I can breathe, so I am ready to get started. I am going to be clearing all of this out except for the eggs and like the delicates. Basically, I'm going to be putting everything in garbage bags just so that I don't really have to like think it through. Probably gonna move the sauces to the pantry side, but other than that, like the mason jars up here, even my oven, I removed it from this section literally like 2-3 weeks ago, because that's when I expected to actually start painting this, but it just has not happened. So yeah, I feel like if I don't at least shoot the intro of this video, then I'll never get it done. So yeah, step 1, clearing all of this out. Step 2, washing the actual shells. So let's begin. So I have actually removed everything and wiped down these shelves. Fun story is that yeah, the ceiling up here isn't just dirty for like fun. The walls are so filthy, so I've actually wiped down what I could reach without having to step on the side ledge there. But yeah, I will definitely need to be cleaning the walls a lot more for this particular project, but I am excited. Okay, so the shelves are clean, and I think, okay, not I think, clearly this is where the cooker is supposed to be, so like the standing cooking situation. So yeah, the wall on this side was very dirty. I think I mentioned that in the previous clip. So wall was very dirty. Cleaned most of it. Thought that I would be able to just get the white undercoat done right now. Just checked it, literally just opened it, and apparently it's completely dried out. So since the last time that I used it on the cabinets, I guess I didn't like seal it off completely properly. So yeah, that isn't gonna happen. And I don't really feel like postponing this until I can go to the shop and like maybe get a small version of the undercoat, because I definitely do need to buy a bigger one. So instead of doing all of that, I think I will actually just go in with the regular paint and hope for the best. So because this isn't a wet area, there is never going to be any liquid spilling on this section. I feel like if I just paint it and then do some edge banding at a later date on the edge of this MDF, that it will be perfectly fine, and then I can finally just have my black pantry, not have any reasons to like keep dilly-dallying with this, right? So I am excited. I'm going to definitely put some tape up on the wall once I start painting on the wall, but for now I think I just want to get the cabinets in black, so at least I feel like I'm making some progress, and then we go from there. Also, I did pick up a brand new brush for this. I realized with every pen section, it's just better to start off with like a fresh, you know, like a fresh base for everything. So yeah, I'm okay with using the cheap brushes, because I clearly am going to be going through them quite a bit. So I had actually soaked the previous brush because it had the oil-based paint, so I soaked it in turpentine, hoping to use it for the shells. But since I'm not going to do that, I'll just go directly in with the paintbrush. And also I picked up a smaller can of black paint, because I know that I'm not ready to do the bigger black section yet, so I didn't want the paint to just be sitting around. Hopefully this is more than enough for just this pantry section and another little wall somewhere. So because it's black, I'm hoping it doesn't need like 10 coats. So one shelf is down, and here is what I have learned fairly quickly. This black is so black that I don't actually think I'll need a second coat of it, which is amazing. So I am actually going to go slower, take more time with these shells, make sure everything is done right and done perfect. Also, I'm really glad that I'm going in with the brush instead of a roller, because I do just get better coverage with a brush. So brush definitely it, black definitely it. It is absolutely all consuming, no patches, no fadedness like the issues that I had with the navy color. Even though it was a dark color, I'm not seeing any of that here, so I'm pretty excited. I'm thinking I want to focus all of my energy doing the bottom and the tops of the shells, at least for these two, because for this one I do have to remove my dishwasher. I do not want it getting any black at all, which is also why I'm going a bit slower, just to make sure there's no splashing. But with this black paint, I'm noticing that it is a lot thicker than the other one, so it actually isn't like leaking all over the place. There isn't any dripping that I'm seeing. I'm not really dipping the brush in too deep, so I'm just doing like the tips and then going from there. Sorry, I wasn't showing that. The tips and then going from there. But yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty happy with this result, so I'm just gonna go on. And also the edges and the whole details I'm gonna do with a smaller brush, but you can see what I mean here. Like the paint isn't actually like very loose, like it's not moving easily, whereas with the other one it would be just dripping all over the brush. So yeah, this is pretty good. I'm so excited. I'm using very little and getting a lot done, so this is definitely a good sign. So just a note, the paint on this bottom shelf literally seems dry while I just finished painting this upper shelf. So the hole that you're seeing there is the hole for the plug, for the dishwasher plug to go all the way up to the socket. I do need to add more sockets, but I don't want to add one here because this is where my oven lives, so I don't want that heat to be impacting it. So yeah, the holes are definitely staying. And also there's a bit of a gap there because the wood doesn't go all the way to the wall, so that's what you're seeing. And I'm going to be painting this wall section. I just really want to focus the energy that I do have right now on getting the shelves perfect, because the wall is definitely not going to be an issue. So I'm loving how dark this is. I'm loving that I only need one coat, which is why I'm actually taking the time to like get it perfect even underneath, so that I don't have to do this again. But I am so excited. So any gaps that are currently left will be dealt with a smaller brush, just for a bit more precision and not just wasting time going over the same area with a big brush multiple times. So yeah, I'm gonna do these other two shelves and then we shall start seeing the vision come together, which is so exciting. Okay, so for a couple of reasons I'm going to stop here. One, painting under this cabinet while this one is still wet is not interesting at all. I did make this section smaller than this section because this is where my oven is and this is where I initially wanted my microwave to go, so it's the perfect size for that. But that does mean I have a lot less wiggle room, so just trying to get in there and paint is just exhausting me beyond words, so it's just not worth it. I have done the top shelf there, as you can see. Loving the way it's coming together so far. I am tempted to just do the walls, but then one thing I'm trying to really keep in mind is that I shouldn't be inhaling these fumes. So even though it is the smell-free paint, it does still have like a chemical base and a chemical effect sort of. So after I've been like sitting in these fumes for a few hours, my stomach does start paining, my head starts paining, and I have trouble sleeping. So I'm not trying to have that escalate into something else. So I have just opened the window here and I'm going to go sit in the sitting room and get some work done. But I'm really glad I was able to make at least this much progress. I am actually really liking the whole super ridiculously matte black thing with the exposed wood, but at the same time I do sort of have a very clear vision for this section, so I'm not even really giving myself a second to step back and rethink this and see if it's really what I want, because my oven is black and it will go in there, and this is sort of my appliance stack station, so everything will just disappear. My microwave is white, yes, but the contrast will be cute, so I am not even second guessing it. I'm just like doing it and trusting the initial vision, and if I don't like it, honestly I can just rip out the boards and repaint the wall, so it's not that big a deal. So yeah, I feel like this section being consumed in darkness is kind of everything I want. And I'm also painting this part of it black, which is why I haven't put any tape here, but I will be taping along the white side of this. Ignore this mess, everything is just a work in progress in this house, but I will be taping off the white section just to make sure no black gets onto that side, which is why I will definitely have a bit of a project with a detailed brush. But I'm really hoping I can also do the wall in one coat so that I get everything done in one go, so I am excited. Also, the paint is actually like genuinely going down, so I don't think I've used too much paint, like an unreasonable amount of paint for this section, but yeah, this might just be enough for this wall and I am actually okay with that. Though the shelves are basically done, so I don't really see why I would use more than half of this container, but you know, we'll see. So this is where we are so far. I just wanted to show it to you before I complete the first coat on the wall. I feel like I'm low-key hesitating doing this side until I see just how much I like this fully black pantry area. So yeah, that's the only reason I haven't touched that side, but I have put up the tape on this side to divide it so the line is super crisp when I remove it, and I have gone in with like an extra amount of paint on the edge just to make sure it's absolutely perfect, because I will not make the same mistakes I made before on this wall. But This I am actually really liking. So far so good. Hopefully I still like it by the time I'm done with this. So I have filled in the blanks. Sorry, everything is completely blown out because I really want you to be able to actually see the black. I have filled in all the blank spots. Not necessarily the actual wooden parts, just because that's proving to be a bit more complicated. And I think I actually need a smaller brush because I have a 4-inch and a 2-inch. Turns out I might need a 1-inch and maybe a 1/2 inch if that exists. But so far I'm pretty happy with it. And I have removed the masking tape and you can see how crisp that line is. So pretty happy about that. I always knew I wanted the black to end where the tile begins, which is why this line is so straight and so perfect, and I am very, very pleased. So the rest of this will be white, so just ignore that. I'm not painting that today. I just want to get this side perfect. So it is for the most part perfect, but then there are a couple of brush strokes that are showing the yellow underneath. So, and that's also why I'm not really concerned about painting it black, because this yellow is pretty stubborn, so it is always better to go in with the cover mat just to make it easier for you. But even with the black and I put cover mat on top of it, I'll be able to paint over that easily in any other color in the future if I change my mind. So for now I'm pretty happy. I'm going to let this dry overnight and then we shall come back and continue tomorrow, probably with the bottom part. So I haven't done much since the last clip, but I did put in my oven and this little basket just to like get the vibes, try to see how everything is coming together, and so far so good. I am loving it so much. So I think I will just move everything out again so that I can paint a second coat on the walls, but I am really, really happy with the way this has turned out. And I have finally decided that I am going to be painting this side panel black, just because I don't want to have to walk all the way into the kitchen for me to see the black. Like I want it to be calling to me from a distance. So I've actually already gone ahead and put up the masking tape to protect this white side from this soon to be black side. So I will just paint the side of it and then, you know, put the final touches. Okay, so I don't think I'll ever be able to truly say that my fear of having a rat hiding behind here is ever fully gone, but I have sort of shifted out the dishwasher and I've realized that I can't disconnect the pipes from this side. They're actually connected all the way under this cabinet. It's a bit dark, so you won't be able to see, but there was a very special connection made for the drain, so I don't really want to risk disconnecting it. What I want to do is sort of just reach in there and paint the parts that we'll see, so this back wall will never get a full coat of paint, and I am fully okay with that. So I'm just going to paint out the little corners. Like you see, I've done for the bottom wood, I've only painted the very front of it because that's all that's really showing over this dishwasher. So I think I will just paint out the little corners and then call it a day, because yeah, it doesn't seem like we're getting this any further out than this. So painting this section has actually gone way better than I expected it to. It didn't take nearly as long as I worried it would, so I'm just gonna give it a second to dry. Even this section over here is looking pretty good, so I'm hoping that is enough paint. I will have to go in right along that wall, but then I think I need a smaller brush for that. I don't really think I want to risk painting my dishwasher, because I actually want to get black contact paper to cover this up so this whole area is just like darkness. But for now I think I'm pretty happy. Also, the basket was on this shelf to sort of serve as a cover for that socket. For this one I decided to paint it out. It doesn't look great in person, but at least it's sort of melting into the whole backdrop of everything. So once I completely paint out the white spots, then I won't feel the pressing, overwhelming need or urge to like change the sockets when they're working perfectly fine. So I wasn't really worried about getting water into this socket, just because the paint dries so quickly that I just didn't turn it off when it was wet. But you can see it is moving very easily. This part of the wall cracked. Oh no. This part cracked when they were putting in the shelf, so I will be patching that at a later date. Not today. Today I just want to get everything black, at least get everything started, and I think I'm done. I think that was my final coat. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this dry overnight. Probably gonna put a second coat on the bottom parts, then let it dry overnight, then put my dishwasher back, which is actually full of dishes because I just did a load of dishes this morning thinking that I would be disconnecting it, but yeah, that's just not worthwhile, I don't think. So yeah, I'm just gonna let everything everything dry overnight. Probably gonna do a second coat on this wall, but I have done a second coat on the half of the wall that I can reach without getting on a stool, so I am excited for tomorrow for it to be perfect. Also, just to give you like a little sneak peek of a future project, this is where I am sort of drying off my brushes before I pack them away, because I don't really want to wash them because this is black, so I want to wash it like once and for all and not like stain my sink really. So yeah, this wall is actually going to be black, and I'm really excited to finally like get to it eventually. So for now, I just come and like swipe this over here so that I can make sure even in the daylight I like the color before it becomes like a little more difficult to reverse this decision. And in the daylight from yesterday's painting, I did definitely really like it. So right now I'm just like creating a fully opaque coat so that I can see it tomorrow morning as well, and then we'll be good to go. So we are finally done with this, and I am so excited. I did just put one coat of paint on the inside part of this dishwasher, and it seems to be holding up perfectly, so I am okay with that. As you can see where I painted in the wood, it is pretty dark. Painting out the socket, which you can't even really see now. The places that you can see a bit of white is where the holes are, and I'm not gonna put like paint inside the holes, so yeah, this is as good as it gets. I did also paint out this socket, and I'm so happy with how matte black it turned out. Like, I'm really glad I decided to like fully commit to painting it black versus like just whitewashing it, blackwashing it, I guess. Yeah, I did sort of go in with a teeny tiny eyeshadow brush into the corner. I don't even think you can see it, but I did go into the corner and just try to get every single nook and cranny done. That's how the wood hole here is done. Even the wood hole here is done, but now that yellow is the paint on the back wall that I couldn't reach. But because the oven will be going here, I don't really mind that. I'm just so excited. This is finally done. I've wanted this to be black for the longest time, so I'm actually really happy with the results. This kitchen does have a lot of storage space already, and I realized that if I try to add upper shelves on this sink side, it will actually reduce the amount of light that's getting through to the rest of the house, and that's the whole point of opening up this kitchen wall. So I don't really want to have to do that if I don't absolutely have to. So I am excited to get a functioning, fully perfect, like everything pantry. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put a couple of things on it. I'm definitely bringing my oven back here. I will be eventually adding in a socket, but then the reason I haven't invested in any sockets is because I haven't found exactly what I'm looking for yet. I keep finding like black brushed metallic-y ones versus like fully matte black ones, so I'm really glad that the painting of them is working, but I definitely need to add a second one here just so the dishwasher and the oven can run simultaneously. For now, through this hole here and this hole here, my dishwasher is always plugged in. Then since I use the oven like maybe once or twice a month, then I usually switch them out. But then with the microwave, I noticed that having the microwave and the dishwasher using one socket really doesn't work, because I'll have a 2-hour cycle running and then need to warm something for like 1 minute and have to interrupt the entire cycle. So it's really just not working. I tried to put a socket here. It fried my extension cable when I used my oven on it, so it's just not worth it to put the microwave here. So yeah, I think I'll bring in my oven and probably my spices, because since I cook on this side, very dirty, I know, I need to clean just this. Everything needs a whole pass through, but I'm hoping to just replace it, so I guess I'm just waiting to like throw it out basically. But I'm thinking that instead of my microwave going here, I think I want my spices, my tea, my everything, like everything I use directly for cooking, just because this is the most convenient spot for it, instead of having to turn like back and forth as I am cooking. So yeah, I'm gonna just put that up and then we shall come and close this video. So just for the record, this is what is potentially going on the shelf. I haven't really decided exactly what's going to go on it, but I think I want to keep my appliances on this side just because the socket that I use them with is here. My microwave will stay right there. I'm trying not to pan down so that you don't see the rest of the mess that is my counter, because I don't have any counter space. Hopefully this will fix that, but I'm hoping that these two shelves can transfer to this other side. Then I won't have to be like turning back and forth as I'm cooking, and then I have more potential like open counter space here. Also, my bottom cabinets aren't completely full, and this other side is barely being utilized. So before I get a pantry, I really want to maximize the use of this kitchen before I like overly invest in things that I don't need. So this is a final result, and I am so excited to finally have this done. I actually finished painting and arranging everything about 2 weeks ago, so I've just been tweaking the layout and the design and like everything, just the presentation basically, and I absolutely love it. Initially I did have 3 containers per row, but then I realized I actually do have quite a few backups. So the way these containers work, and yes, I will still be replacing them with glass, but that's just not a priority right now, you know. So I have 2 sugars, 2 gullies, 1 cake mix, 2 all-purposes, 1 pasta. So I just divide the containers based on how much of each product that I use, and I love it. Honestly, I can't think of what else I need in my pantry. I have like a couple of more things like rice and sim and whatever, but then like, what do people need a whole room for their pantry for? Like, I don't know what you keep in it, because for me this is more than enough. I don't really like ndengus. I barely cook beans, so I just, the only thing that didn't find a home here is the uji mix, which I'm sure I could shove all the way to the back, but then I feel like it's already forgotten. I literally packaged this like a year ago and I haven't opened it since, so yeah, hoping hopefully it's still good. But also, I don't drink uji. I was like buying it to motivate myself to be that person, but then like I just don't. So yeah, I feel like this is more than enough of a pantry for me. So I'll just show you this other side really quickly. It's not looking like aesthetic because this is where all the extras that didn't find a home on this brand new black beloved pantry, this is kind of where they're going. So I'm just gonna get doors for this place because all my appliances are gonna go here. My dishwashing soap is there, so I just want to like cover it up and sort of forget about it. So I do have my packaging extras up here, so like extra salt, extra flour. Need to stock up on backups, but for the primary things I do have everything fully well stocked here, and I'm really excited. Having my cooking spices and everything here, including my eggs, which I do eat quite a lot of, it's really handy. Like, it's made cooking such a much more pleasurable experience in this kitchen, so I'm really glad everything is coming together. This is still working really well for my dishwasher because it is plugged in back there, but you can't really see it. But then I don't have to move everything around for me to have access to the plug, so literally just these 2 things, and it's there if you can sort of see it. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Also, I do keep tissue around just because you find like a little wipe that you don't really want to use something big for, or just like spot cleaning basically. I use a bit of tissue for that. Yeah, I'm really happy. I don't know what else to say, so I feel like I've been rambling for a bit, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next step, as you can see, I've already started here, is painting these bottom cabinets navy, then painting the walls white, then getting doors on this other side so that it's not too much color in the kitchen. We still have a good white base, and then everything will be perfect. So yeah, this is where we are, and I have no regrets. So if you're hesitant to use black in your house, I definitely encourage it. I am so excited with this, though the contrast is definitely highlighting the ceiling, so the ceiling has to like get fast forwarded in the list of priorities, in the list of priority projects. I definitely need to like boost this to the top, but at eye level and below, everything is absolutely perfect. And you can see I did paint into the corner of the dishwasher, but like not all the way back. So actually notice that when I open it, you can see the line there, so I will just be painting a little bit further in, but when my dishwasher is closed, everything looks perfect. So yeah, this is the whole video. This is it. This is a final look for the pantry. Cannot wait until I paint out the rest of the room, then I can give you like a full proper before and after kitchen tour. I am so excited for that. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in my next video.